guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Today, I have an underused match against Alice, and we actually battled before, but it turned out to be a disconnection. We did an NU before, so I was like, you know what, let's hop into UU and see what happens. Alice is actually a really good player, and this turned out to be a pretty damn close match, so let's get this started. She's going to go ahead and lead off with her Galvantula, who I know is going to want to set up the sticky web. I actually figured from the team preview that it'd be a good idea to lead off with Hitmontop, because I can go for the fake out, break its possible focus sash, and then be able to rapid spin away the sticky web that it's going to want to set up, because I know your plan, you little stupid spider fuck. So he's going to go ahead and go for the sticky web. She is actually, as I go for the rapid spin, which is going to spin away them webs, so that's pretty nice. I actually figured that she wouldn't want to stay in here, so I actually decided to switch out knowing that she's not going to want to go for another sticky web. I decided to go into Toad here. Predicting some sort of like Volt Switch or something like that, I don't know. But she actually just stays in, goes for the sticky web again, and that's kind of a bummer because whenever there's sticky webs on my side of the field, I just do terrible. But she's going to stay in, go for the Bug Buzz, as she knows I can't one-hit KO her with anything, so I just go for the Sludge Bomb. I actually end up getting the Poison, and that's kind of nice. I could have put this thing to sleep, but I honestly didn't want this Galvantula to be to sleep. That way I could put some other things to sleep later, because I knew she would want to, if I put something to sleep early, she would be able to keep it in the back of her team, and I wouldn't be able to abuse Spore later. So now we got a little double switch going on. She brings on the Crobat, as she wanted to be able to Brave Bird my Amoonguss probably, as I bring out Mad Outlaw, going to be able to get that Intimidate, and now I'm able to rapid spin away basically the web again. But then I realized right as I hit that, she actually has a Ghost on her team, and it's a damn Dusclops. So this thing is a major problem to my team. Really, the only thing I have for it is my Raikou definitely has the Shadow Ball with Specs. Wouldn't even kill it in one hit. But I tried to go for the fake out there, not even the rapid spin, just try to fake something out, and then I was going to go for the rapid spin next turn, but I can't do shit against this damn Cyclops. So I have to bring in Wildcat here, as she's going to go for the Infestation, which is going to lock me in, and I'm going to take some continual damage, but that's pretty much fine by me, because I get to choose what I want to go for here. I can actually go for the Volt Switch if I really want to, and here I blew it. I should have gone for the Shadow Ball. I figured it would have been too predictable, so I actually just went for the Thunderbolt, predicting something else to come in. But I got the Parahacks there, which is actually really annoying for her, and I feel bad about that. But I should have gone for the Shadow Ball there. Had I gone for the Shadow Ball, this would have been a very different match. So I just stay in, go for another Thunderbolts, as it does a chunk of damage, and she actually gets Parahacks there, which is a real bummer. She was probably going to go for the Will-O-Wisp or something just to get some more continual damage off on me. But yeah, now she's going to switch out. She goes into her Roserade, as the Roserade's going to take this Thunderbolt quite nicely. I don't think that Dusclops would have lived that next Thunderbolt, so she keeps it around for a little while. And as you'll see, that Dusclops comes back to fucking haunt my dreams like the ghost it is. So the Thunderbolt isn't going to do much to the Roserade, and I'm locked in, so I have to switch. I go into Pimpcrow here, as I predicted, you know, just some sort of like Leech Seed or something like that. I don't know. Maybe a Sleep Powder. If she did to go for the Sleep Powder, it would have been a bummer to have Honchkrow sleep, but you know, who knows. She actually double switches, goes into a Crobat, which is going to be faster than my Honchkrow, which is a bummer. So she gets a nice little U-turn off on me for a quick freaking load of damage. So I go for the Brave Bird, as she brings in the damn Aggron, and that thing completely walls my Honchkrow because I am Choice Banded this time, so I can't go for the superpower if I even carried the superpower. So I don't actually even have the superpower on my Honchkrow, but yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and switch into Mad Outlaw. I know that Mad Outlaw can basically, you know, intimidate this thing. It won't be able to hurt me too much, and she's probably gonna want to set up some Stealth Rocks, to be honest, so that's pretty fine by me. I honestly predicted the Stealth Rocks so then I can go for the Rapid Spin later, but that is a problem considering she's still got that damn Ghost on her team. So she goes for the Stealth Rocks here like I predicted. That's completely fine by me. Actually, that's not completely fine by me, because now my Raikou is going to be taking freaking Stealth Rocks damage when it comes in, and I need to preserve that thing. I actually should have really predicted this Dusclops to come in to absorb the Rapid Spin and switched into Wildcat, then been able to go for the Shadow Ball and kill it, but I make a misplay there, and she makes a pretty nice play going in and blocking my Rapid Spin. So now I'm going to switch into Cradildo. I know this thing can't really hurt Cradildo, and I do have the Toxic if it wants to. It's probably going to want to rest, and that's kind of scary for me. She actually gets Parahacked 3 times in a row right there. That was the 3rd time that this that this damn Dusclops hasn't been able to move, so that's kind of a bummer. I just go for the Stealth Rocks, as I know that Crobat's flying around and stuff. Probably not going to enjoy taking that damage and stuff. But she goes for the rest, and I was really crossing my fingers that she didn't have the rest. She didn't have the rest on her Dusclops. This would have been a way different match, but yeah, she gets the clutch rest off there, and I really should have brought in Raikou at this point. I blew it. But now I'm going to go ahead and switch. I believe I bring in Wildcat now, as I want to see what she's going to do. If she wants to switch, that's fine, because I can go for the Volt Switch on this, you know what I mean. But unfortunately, the Sticky Web is going to make Wildcat freaking slow as hell, and this Dusclops over here is going to continue sleeping. So now she's going to switch. I believe I actually just go for the Shadow Ball as she brings in the Galvantula, just to basically die to Stealth Rocks and then be able to scout out what I'm going to use. And she sees the Shadow Ball, which is a bummer for me. She knows that Raikou is the only threat to her Dusclops at this point. So yeah, now she's going to bring out the Crobat, who is going to be able to easily outspeed me and probably kill me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to freaking switch here. I got to go into Pimpcrow. Honestly, I don't know if this was that good of a play. I had to sack something. Pimpcrow didn't look too useful to the team. I mean, actually, I probably should have fucking kept Pimpcrow around, honestly, for that freaking Dusclops also. I do have the Night Slash, but that freaking, yeah, that Honchkrow dies, and Crobat is the better flying fuck. So now I bring out Mad Outlaw, and I'm like really worried about these hazards that she's got up. I know that she's got the Stealth Rocks up. The Sticky Web is still messing up my freaking Raikou. I need that thing fast as hell. So I'm gonna go for the Fake Out, as just I wanted to see if she was gonna switch. She actually just stays in and really wants to get a Brave Bird off on my Hitmontop. I know I can take at least one Brave Bird after the Intimidate, so she's gonna go ahead and stay in, hit me with a Brave Bird. I leave it with 28 HP, which is really nice. And now I am able to get the Rapid Spin off, which is sweet because the Galvantula is dead and no more Sticky Webs on my side of the field, thank God. And I got rid of the Stealth Rocks too. So I go for the Sucker Punch here, as I really thought it was going to kill, and the freaking Crobat lives it with like 2 HP and is able to kill me with a Brave Bird, which kind of sucks, but in the process she actually, you know, kills herself because of that recoil. So Hitmontop is dead. I have no way of spinning anything away anymore, and that's kind of awful. But now I don't have to worry about that fast-ass Crobat, so that's kind of cool. Now she's going to bring out Tetsu, as we had like a little empty field to kind of get to see who we want to send in here. As I bring in Wildcat, I knew that Wildcat was going to be faster than anything on our team, so I'm able to get a nice little Volt Switch off, as this Aggron is not really going to enjoy that damage. Suspect Volt Switch from Raikou. I should have gone for the Thunderbolt, honestly. It looked like it would have killed, but yeah, Raikou is going to be tucked away for a little bit later. So now I bring in Toad. I'm kind of worried about this thing setting up some more Stealth Rocks and stuff, because if it does, you know, I'm gonna be limited to the amount of times I can freaking switch in. But she just goes for the Earthquake. Toad bulks the shit out of that with my Bold Nature, max HP, max defense and shit. So yeah, now I predict the Dusclops to come in. I really want to catch that Dusclops off guard with my my Wildcat, but she actually just stays in and goes for the Dragon Tail, which is awful because it knocks Wildcat to the point where I only have one more switch in with those Stealth Rocks. And my Rapid Spinner is dead with my Hitmontop. So that's a real bummer. Now she gets the Stealth Rocks up, and next time I bring in my Raikou is going to be the last time. So that is terrible. I go for the Giga Drain. Honestly, don't know why I thought that would kill, but it freaking doesn't. And then that Aggron comes back to bite me in the ass later. So now she's going to switch back into her Dusclops, who I cannot really touch at all. And Cradilly is not looking too hot over here. So I'm just going to go for the Giga Drain, trying to finish off that damn Aggron, but it lands on the freaking Dusclops, and that's terrible. So now I bring in Toad. I know that my only chance against this thing, honestly, is for Toad to be able to get up some spores on this thing, keep it asleep, and be able to try to get some damage. I honestly didn't really have a plan. I know this Dusclops honestly can't hurt Toad either, so it was kind of like an uphill battle here. I just go for the Sludge Bomb, realizing it does like absolutely no damage. I thought I was going to go first, and maybe I was going to be able to get a poison or something, you know, who knows. But she's going to go for the freaking Infestation, as now I'm stuck in here with Toad. And, you know, Toad isn't really taking too much damage from it at all, and I'm not really worried about losing Toad at this point. So I just go for the Spore, and that thing is going to be right back to sleep. So my only hope is to be able to keep this thing asleep for long enough to the point where I can kill it. But then again, it does still have the rest, so at any time it could get all its health back and then just be an asshole. So yeah, I can't switch out at this point, so I'm pretty much stuck in here, as this Dusclops is just going to be, you know, getting bombarded by freaking Sludge Bombs. So that's not going to do too much at all, and it's still sleeping. You know, I'm just honestly worried about what the hell I'm going to do to this thing. Literally the only thing I have is my Raikou able to go for the Shadow Ball, and I only have one chance to make that happen. So yeah, the Stealth Rocks are going to ruin my Raikou when he comes in next, and that's kind of a bummer. So I'm still out here, just sludge bombing away with Toad. You know what I'm saying. This freaking Dusclops is having nap time on the damn battlefield out here, just sleeping for days, as I just go for another Sludge Bomb, and it brings it almost to half, and I'm like, yes, slowly whittling away your damage. So he just wakes up now and goes for the Will-O-Wisp, which is going to be a bummer for Toad, because now I'm going to be taking burn damage and that Infestation. But I believe the Infestation should wear off here pretty soon, actually. So let's see here. Yeah, so I'm freed from the infestation on this turn. And here I was like, okay, I'll put that Dusclops right back to sleep. And she actually knows that's going to happen. So she brings in freaking Aggron, who lives this Stealth Rock's damage with 1 HP. She was telling me she literally had 1 HP. And that is terrible because I put it to sleep. And now that that thing is asleep on her side, she is going to be able to switch that thing out, save it, and then according to Sleep Clause, I'm unable to put 2 things to sleep. So that Aggron's an asshole for living with 1 HP, and now I'm unable to spore anything else. So that is really terrible, as now she's going to bring out the Roserade as I go ahead and double switch. I bring out my Raikou here. My plan was just to lock myself into Shadow Balls, but it looks like I brought Raikou in a little bit too early as I knocked myself to my last 13 HP. And all I have for this Roserade is Hidden Power Ice, and Hidden Power Ice is not going to be able to kill it, unfortunately. Even with the choice specs, that Roserade's bulky as hell, and it lives that Hidden Power Ice really nicely, and is able to kill me with a Giga Drain. So I did not preserve Raikou how I needed to, and it comes back to bite me in the ass. So Raikou's dead as hell. This Roserade's looking like a damn threat over here, and I'm really just worried about, you know, what the hell I'm going to do to that freaking Dusclops. So all I can do now is bring in Doug. I can trap it, go for the Earthquake, and that is going to be an easy kill on that Roserade. So it's going to be a pretty close match here. She has that Aggron left and the Dusclops left, which is a damn problem. And she also has this freaking Kingdra, which I honestly forgot about, and I was like, freak, a Kingdra. I can't switch into Cradilly because it's probably going to go for the Ice Beam, and that's going to be a 2-hit KO on me. So all I can do is go for the Earthquake and get a decent amount of damage off on it, as this Kingdra is going to go for the Ice Beam, and that is a dead Doug. Sorry about that, Dougster. Sorry about that, Doug. Shit happens. So now I can bring in Cradildo. I know I can take at least 1 Ice Beam from this thing and be able to kill it with a Giga Drain. So she's actually going to go for the Draco Meter, seeing that it actually does more damage than Ice Beam. And, you know, maybe I should have actually switched into Cradilly on the Ice Beam because I maybe would have been able to take 2. I'm honestly not quite sure. I am max special defense. I actually probably should have done that. But nonetheless, this Giga Drain is going to kill that Kingdra, and I don't even know if having Doug around would have been very useful at all anyways, but, you know, you never know. You never know. I didn't have anything for that Dusclops anyways, but now she's going to bring back out the freaking Clops, as it's going to take some Stealth Rocks damage. She's below half, and I'm like, oh god. There's nothing I can freaking do to this thing. If I Toxic it, it's just going to go for the rest. So I know she's probably going to want to go for the rest on this turn, so I bring in Toad. And at this point, I actually kind of forgot that I put that Aggron to sleep, so I was like, there's still a chance. There's still a chance if this thing stays asleep for, like, ever. And then I can continue sporing it for, like, all of eternity. But she goes for the rest, and that is a bummer. This freaking rest Dusclops is pissing me right off. Dusclops has just always been a problem for me. And no one ever uses these things, you know. You never really see Dusclops around. This is like only like the 4th time I've ever actually battled one. Every time it seems to just wall the shit out of me. I'm just gonna start bringing just specs freaking ghost types to just fuck these things up. But yeah, so this thing is sleeping. I realize that even when it wakes up, I am unable to go for the Spore because that Aggron is still in the back of her team asleep. So that 1 HP Aggron really kind of ruined my plans of trying to put this thing to sleep. So yeah, that's a real bummer. My only last 2 Pokemon were Cradilly and Toad, so I really had nothing I could do there. Couldn't touch the damn Dusclops. She could just keep on resting all day as I died to burn damage. So that was a really good game, Alice. I should have, you know, played smarter with my Raikou to be able to take out that Dusclops. But sometimes I make mistakes that come to bite me in the ass later when you're not even realizing it during the battle. But, you know, shit happens, and great game, Alice. Thank you for the match. Go ahead and check out her link in the description, and click the thumbs up button on this video if you guys enjoyed. Thanks.